Coco Gauff pulls out the stops in Beijing. We'll get to that in a minute, but first, this video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and we're also covered under the Digital Millennium Act, the number 2 seed, the world's ranked number 3, and a 3-set popcorn thriller with the world's ranked 39th, Veronika Kudermetova. Pegula would drop the first set 11-9 in a first set tiebreak, but she would bounce back with a breadstick in the second set and a 6-2 multiple break victory in the third set as she advances to the next round. She would say in the post-match interview, a very humble, calm Pegula would say, she's happy she was able to problem solve and advance to the next round and stay one more day here in China. Pegula always so nonchalant and relaxed in these interviews. Other matches on the day, guys. A lot of rain. Osaka volley nets. That's right, guys. That match was postponed. Beecher said, Dad, taking on Madison Keys. That match was postponed. A lot of the top seeds are still in this thing. That's right. Sabalenka, if she wins this tournament, she's got a chance to be number 1 again in the world. And I talked previously about the shortest reign at number 1. That's right, guys. That's WTA history. Sabalenka's in that top 5, the shortest reign at number 1. I also talk about someone who's currently still active on tour to be number 1 on the world tour without having won a Grand Slam title. That's like Clara Buell on the junior circuit, right? Karolina Pliskova, that's right, guys. She was a world number 1, and she's never won a Grand Slam championship. Venus Williams, guys, she's also had a very short reign at number 1 in consecutive weeks. Why? Of course, she has 7 slam titles. She's lost 7 slam championship matches as well. But little sister on tour, Serena Williams, that contributes to her short reign at number 1. That's right, guys. Venus Williams, very talented in her prime, but just hasn't held that number 1 ranking for many weeks, guys. In fact, I think it was less than 15 weeks overall. But how about some other matches on the day? That's right, guys. The big matchup that's in progress right now. Anna Kalinskaya on Peyton Stearns. Peyton Stearns has looked really good. She's looked solid, but the rain here in China just postponing everything. This match is underway. Peyton Stearns would take the first set, and right now it looks like Kalinskaya is on the move. We're going to see if she can get something done here and force a third set, but that match will resume tomorrow. That's right, guys, as well. I'm looking forward to seeing the number 3 seed, as the top seeds are still in this thing. Sabalenka, the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, Pegula. The number 3 seed, Polini, is going to take on Magda Linette, so stay tuned for that. And the winner of Osaka Volley Nets, another rain out, they're going to take on, that's right, Coco Gauff, guys. Now, I said in the pre-match video, this match should be fairly easy for Coco. Why? Yes, Katie Boulter is amazing. I've been covering her matches since the lower level. You guys know that. I'm a huge fan of Katie Boulter. It seemed like everything came together for her last year on grass season. And after that, she wasn't a great grass player. And I said all the time, you never know when it all comes together for you. I think the relationship with Alex, very good for her game. I always watch closely when these WTA players have these relationships with the ATP players. I watch to see how their game evolves or gets worse, right? In some cases, look at Paul. Her relationship with Stefanos, that did not go well for her game. But if you take a look at Katie Boulter, I think her backhand's always been solid, but her forehands improve. I think her footwork's improved, and I think her serves improve. But you're taking on the fastest player on the game, the best defender in the game, the best backhand in the game, front, back, side to side, like a new TikTok dance move or something. Coco just moved Boulter all around today. The taller, stationary player just couldn't find a rhythm today against Coco. Coco looked solid, and I said this would be fairly easy match. They played last year in Montreal. Coco 6-2, 6-2, multiple breaks each set. And she did that today, guys. In the first set, Coco really dominated. She played well. Now, I was concerned with how Coco would adjust back to her prior serve. You know, when you're working with a coach for over a year, how to do something, to have to go back. Oh, I mean, that really scared me. But the camp there, Mr. Daly, who's great with footwork, great with grip, great with forehands, I think we're seeing a lot of the changes here early on. It's only been about a week, but listen, guys, sometimes that's all it takes when you bring on a new coach. It's just a breath of fresh air, a new way of doing things. And in the first set, guys, 4 aces, 2 double faults. Coco won nearly 80% of her first serves while winning 73% of Katie Boulter's second serve. Boulter would take the walk, but she's not a loser. She's an amazing talent, as Coco is mobbed by these Chinese fans here. Listen, there hasn't been many fans at these matches, but seeing Coco mobbed by these fans here lets you know how big time she is, how great she is for the sport. I mean, the guy that does the interviews here, he had to say, Coco, yeah, when you're done, just come on over and do the interview. In the second set, though, I do want to talk about the second set overall. Coco won 93% of her first serves. Again, only one double fault. She got nearly 80% of her first serves in play while winning 50% of Boulter's first and second serve. The overall match stats, I was surprised, guys. Only 12 winners. Coco played clean tennis. She forced Boulter into 24 unforced errors, and the overall point 66 to 50. Coco was solid in this match, guys. Now, in the post-match interview, I'm seeing a very mature Coco mentally. She's not saying much in these interviews, guys. She would say she's just happy she was able to come through. And the vibe I'm getting from Coco is the tour better watch out for the remaining of this year and for next year. Because Coco seems focused. She's calm. She seems very calm. And she seems like she's about her business. And I'm telling you, I've been watching all of her matches for a very long time. She means business. And we all know she made the semifinals of the Australian Open last year. Don't be surprised if Coco wins the Australian Open, guys. But again, she would say as a kid, she never thought that she would come to China because it seemed so far away. Coco, you're here in China. The fans love you and you're big time. What's next for her? She's gonna take on the winner of Osaka Volley Nets. Listen, I love Coco, we all know that, but when it comes to just technical striking, I think Osaka's the most purest, cleanest ball striker in the business. Her pure forehand, the backhand, her serving technique. If she's her best form, I think Osaka beats much anyone inside the top 10. So she has Patrick back on her camp. Patrick's been an advisor for Coco for a very long time, ever since she was a young teenager. Of course, he knows Coco's game. So that's a matchup that could be pretty scary for Coco fans. But she advances. She stays another day here in China. I'm your host, Get Energy. Stay tuned for more tennis coverage. Like, video, show some love. Thanks for all the love and support. Back at the Chinese Open.